If you're in Tokyo and looking for a place that's close, quiet, and easy to explore in a single day, yet still offers a full range of experiences from nature and culture to local food, then the area around Mount Fuji is a great choice to consider. I spent one day traveling from Tokyo to this region, visiting Chureito Pagoda, the traditional village of Iyashi no Sato, having lunch by Lake Motosu, and ending the afternoon at Fuji Sengen Shrine. In this Japan travel documentary, I'll share the entire journey, including transportation details, a stop-by-stop itinerary, actual costs, and a few small tips to help you plan your own trip, just like I did. Let's start with the morning train from Shinjuku Station and walk through the day step by step. If you're planning a day trip to Mount Fuji from Tokyo, I highly recommend going in autumn. The weather is cool, the skies are clear with soft sunlight, perfect for outdoor walks. And when the leaves start to change color, the trails leading up to temples and around the old villages become beautifully scenic and easy to photograph. For transportation, the most convenient option is taking the Fuji excursion train from Shinjuku Station. This train offers reserved seating and goes directly to Fujisan or Kawaguchiko, so you won't need to transfer mid-journey, saving you time and hassle. If you plan to explore more places, like old villages, lakes, temples, or caves, consider buying a FujiQ Pass or a day combo ticket. These are more budget-friendly than buying individual tickets for each ride. One important note, IC cards like Suica or Pasmo don't work on all local buses in this area. So, it's best to carry cash and keep some small change handy for bus fares or small purchases at roadside shops. I left Shinjuku Station at 7:30 a.m. on the Fuji excursion train, which had reserved seats and wasn't too crowded. The train was quiet, perfect time to have a light snack and look over the map. A calm start to a full day exploring Mount Fuji's surroundings. As the train rolled on, the scenery shifted from Tokyo's high-rises to suburban views, grassy fields, small houses, and eventually, the silhouette of Mount Fuji appeared in the distance. After about 2 hours, I arrived at Fujisan Station. The train fare from Shinjuku to either Fujisan or Kawaguchiko is around $15 to $20 one way, depending on the type of train, regular or express with seat reservations. My first stop was Arakurayama Park, home to the famous Chureito Pagoda. From Fujisan Station, I followed a trail and began the climb. Around 400 steps to reach the hilltop. The path was open, lined with trees, and it's easy to take breaks along the way. Once at the top, the view opened up in front of me. One of the most stunning angles of Mount Fuji I've ever seen. What many people don't know is that Chureito Pagoda is actually an extension of the Arakura Sengen Shrine, a sacred site built in 705 AD dedicated to Konohana Sakuya Hime, the goddess of cherry blossoms and Mount Fuji. The pagoda itself was added later as a memorial to those who died in war, a powerful symbol of peace, loss, and the connection between generations. Hey you! Where are you watching from? I'd love to know what city you're from. Leave a comment and say hi. It means a lot and helps us feel a little less alone while making these videos. Just a small action, but a huge motivation for us to keep creating more. Thank you so much, and sending love your way. From the temple, I took a bus heading to Iyashi no Sato, a traditional village located near Lake Saiko. The ride wasn't long, about 30 minutes, passing through quiet residential areas and sparse pine forests. This is a small mountainside village that was rebuilt after a major landslide in 1966. The entire village is made up of traditional thatched roof houses, built in the Gasho-zukuri style, which was typical of rural Japan in the past. Some shops in the village offer yukata rentals for photos. A yukata is a lightweight traditional summer garment that's easy to move around in. The rental price ranges from $7 to $10, often including accessories. You can wear one and stroll around the village to take photos. I stopped at a small tea house. Inside the simple wooden home were low tables, paper sliding doors, and soft yellow lighting. They served hot matcha, mochi, and a few light snacks. One thing you'll notice is that each house in the village serves a different purpose. Some are used as craft workshops, displaying handmade items like washi paper, masks, or dyed fabrics. Others have been turned into tea houses, offering simple drinks in a traditional setting. A few houses are set up as exhibitions, showcasing old photographs and artifacts that depict life in rural Japan before modernization. The entrance fee to the village is around $4. If you'd like to rent a yukata for photos, expect to pay $7 or $10 depending on the set. Hands-on activities like mask making or traditional paper making require a separate fee, typically $2 or $5 per activity. After walking around the old village and spending some time at the tea house, I left Iyashi no Sato and continued my journey toward Lake Motosu. This is the deepest and clearest of the 5 lakes surrounding Mount Fuji, and it's also the lake featured on Japan's 1,000 yen banknote. Near the lakeshore, there are a few small local restaurants serving regional dishes. The spot I chose for lunch was Tsuruya Shokudo, a popular local diner known for its Yoshida udon. This is a type of thick, chewy noodle served in a rich miso-based broth, often topped with cabbage, pork slices, or vegetable tempura. For dessert, you can try grilled mochi with miso sauce, sticky, fragrant, and best enjoyed hot. Or, if you prefer something lighter, A glass of cold fresh milk from a nearby local farm is also a favorite, especially during the summer months. A full lunch here typically costs around $8-15 depending on what you order and the restaurant you choose. Keep in mind that some small restaurants don't accept credit cards, so it's a good idea to bring cash. After lunch and about an hour of rest at the restaurant, you can head to the Narusawa Ice Cave, located around 15 to 20 minutes by car from Lake Motosu. This is one of the natural lava caves formed thousands of years ago during an eruption of Mount Fuji. Remarkably, the cave maintains a constant temperature of around 3 degrees C, 37 degrees Celsius, all year round, even in the middle of summer. The entrance to the cave is fairly small, but once you step inside, the atmosphere completely changes. It's darker, noticeably colder, and you'll hear the sound of water dripping from the stone ceiling to the floor. The steps inside can be a bit slippery, and in some sections, the ceiling is quite low. So if you're tall, you'll need to duck as you pass through. In the past, the Japanese used this cave to store seeds and food, taking advantage of its naturally cold environment long before refrigerators existed. The entrance fee is about $2.50, and a typical visit takes only 10 to 15 minutes. Still, it's more than enough to feel the striking contrast in light and temperature compared to the outside world. On the way back to Fujiyoshida Station to end my journey, I decided to stop at one last place, Kitaguchi Hongu Fuji Sengen Shrine, an ancient site nestled quietly in a cedar forest. This shrine was once the traditional starting point for pilgrims ascending Mount Fuji. To reach the shrine, you walk along a narrow path flanked by towering cedar trees. At the entrance stands a wooden torii gate, simple yet striking in the middle of the forest. Before entering the main hall, pause at the chozuya, a water basin used to cleanse your hands and mouth, following Shinto purification rituals. The water here flows directly from the melted snow of Mount Fuji. It's freezing cold, yet crystal clear. Washing your hands is not just about physical cleanliness. It's a symbolic act of cleansing the mind and showing readiness to approach a sacred space with humility. The shrine was quiet. No one spoke loudly. No one was taking selfies. The space inside was simple. No bright colors, no elaborate decorations, just calm and silence. Before returning to Tokyo, I stopped at a small cafe near the shrine, Fuji Café Migoen, for a short break. The cafe sits right by the path, with a low wooden roof and a peaceful atmosphere. A few tables are set up on the terrace outside. The menu is simple: grilled rice cakes with miso sauce, local fresh milk, and hot matcha. The food isn't fancy but perfect for a light snack, especially after a long day on foot. If you visit in autumn, choose a seat facing west. Around 4:35 p.m., the sun filters through the trees, creating a beautiful golden light, just enough to capture a perfect photo. As the sun began to set, I made my way back to the station and boarded the train to Tokyo. Like in the morning, the ride took about 2 hours, just enough time to rest and look through the photos I had taken throughout the day. The total cost for this Mount Fuji day trip was around $60, $80 per person, including round-trip train fare from Tokyo, lunch, entrance to the traditional village, and the ice cave. If you bring your own snacks, use regular trains, and skip the extra craft activities, the cost can be even lower. For me, this was one of the most meaningful day trips I've done as part of my Japan travel series. Not because the destinations were overly grand, but because of the feeling of slowing down, walking through forests, wandering quiet villages, and standing in the shadow of the mountain. Sometimes, just one full day in nature, with a slower rhythm, is enough to remind you why places like this linger in your memory for so long. If you're planning a trip to Japan and want a peaceful one-day experience to breathe fresh air and reconnect with calm, I truly believe this journey won't disappoint. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next episodes in our Japan travel documentary series, where every journey is not just about visiting, but about feeling and living with the heartbeat of this land.